I am the youngest in my family, and I live with pressure and stress every day because of my brother. Now, don't take this the wrong way. My brother is not directly putting pressure on me. Rather, he's indirectly putting pressure on me, and most likely doesn't even know it. To give some background information about my brother, Ryan, he has always been significantly smarter than those in his grade. He was always put in Excel groups growing up, and when high school started, he began to separate himself from the pack. He went on to take 13 AP courses here at Olentangy Liberty. He either got a 5 or 4 on all these APs except one. In preparation for college, Ryan took the ACT, where on his third and final attempt he got a 34. Ryan decided to attend State University of New York at Albany on a full-ride scholarship. So that leaves me. Growing up, I was always expected by my mom to do as well as Ryan in class, if not better. I had to live up to unreal expectations. I was expected to achieve what he did, which led to a lot of stress growing up, considering I was nowhere near as smart as he was. For every year I scheduled classes, I've sat down with my mom and planned out my schedule. Of course it wasn't just us, because Ryan was always invited to sit with us. I'm not sure if my mom thinks I'm as smart as him, because whenever I scheduled classes, I found myself scheduling the same courses Ryan did. My mom would ask him what courses he took, and I would fill in the rectangular box with whatever he said. My mom would always say Ryan didn't have too much trouble with his class, and that I would do fine. By my mom saying I would do fine, I found more pressure added to me from her, because in her books doing fine actually meant getting an A in every class. I was practically assigned a schedule that I just simply couldn't handle. I struggled my first 3 years of high school a bit because I was in classes that I probably shouldn't have been in. I had problems understanding material, and I tended to lose focus during class because the information being taught was too much for me. I found my years of high school to be a roller coaster ride full of stress and pressure. My GPA took a hit because I wasn't ready for the classes I was in. I was also becoming a person I wasn't familiar with. Because the classwork was too much for me, I was asking people for homework answers because I simply didn't understand it. I didn't like who I was becoming. Almost every night I was up late studying for tests and completing homework, and I was constantly worried about my grades because the only thing I wanted was to beat my brother. I guess I was just jealous of my brother and what he had achieved. I remember how proud everyone in my family was of my brother after receiving his full ride to a great school, and that was something I wanted. No one in our family had any academic success like he had, and I was the unfortunate one to follow in his footsteps. I feared not being as good as him and letting down my family. I didn't want to be seen not as smart as him, because as a competitive person I am, I always want to be the best, and this is one thing I couldn't be the best at. No matter how hard I studied or stayed after school for extra work, I couldn't be the best. I had it much harder than him. He never had to work for his grades, and to this day, I still don't think that's fair. However, I think it helped push me in school because I had something I was reaching for. And with the bar set so high, as long as I got somewhere close to what he accomplished, my family would be proud of me.